Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into some huge ideas from the Ecology Book. It's pretty amazing when you think about it, how a science that literally started as a basic survival guide has now become maybe the most critical field for, well, ensuring our future. So let's jump right in.
Wow, this quote just cuts right through it all, doesn't it? It's such a stark reminder that we don't have a planet B. It really drives home the point that understanding how our world works isn't just some academic exercise. At the end of the day, it's all about survival.
Okay, so to really get to the roots of ecology, we have to rewind. And rewind way back. Back to a time when understanding the natural world was literally the only thing that kept our ancient ancestors alive.
Yeah, forget about peer-reviewed journals or fancy labs. For our earliest ancestors, this was all about one thing: finding your next meal. Knowing which plants wouldn't kill you, where the herds were grazing, that was the most vital information you could possibly have. And that right there, that high-stakes, life-or-death observation, that is the true origin of ecology.
So for thousands of years, this basic understanding was enough. Nature was seen as this fixed stage, a static backdrop. But then, a whole wave of scientific discoveries started to completely shake that foundation, revealing a world that was dynamic and constantly in motion.
But these new ideas ran headfirst into a really powerful, entrenched belief called essentialism. For centuries, this was the dominant view. The idea was that every species was created perfectly, placed on its own little rung on a great ladder of life, and that was that. Forever unchangeable.
And then the revolution really kicked off. It was like a giant puzzle, with each thinker adding a critical piece. First, James Hutton proposed that the Earth was way, way older than anyone thought, which gave evolution the time it needed. Then Lamarck dared to suggest that species could actually change. But the real breakthrough was Darwin and Wallace, who gave us the engine for that change: natural selection. Still, how did it work? Well, the answer came from a monk, Gregor Mendel, patiently crossbreeding thousands of pea plants to uncover the hidden rules of heredity. And the final piece? Watson and Crick discovering DNA, the actual code of life itself. Each step built on the last, completely rewriting our understanding of life.
And this right here, this was the mic drop moment. Discovering DNA wasn't just another finding. It was like finding the Rosetta Stone for evolution. Suddenly, it all made sense. We could see the physical mechanism for how traits get passed down, and, just as important, how tiny little copy-in errors, mutations, create the variation that natural selection needs to work with. It was the key that unlocked the whole mystery.
Okay, so now scientists knew life was constantly evolving. The next obvious question was, how does it all connect? This one question shifted the entire focus of the science, away from studying individual species in isolation and toward the vast, intricate network that links them all together.
So, where do you start mapping those connections? Well, the first step was brilliantly simple: the food chain. Just the basic idea of who eats whom. It gave us the first clear picture of how energy flows through an environment, from plants to herbivores to predators.
But nature is never a straight line, is it? Ecologists quickly realized it wasn't a simple chain, but a complex, tangled, and messy food web. And that single insight gave birth to the modern concept of the ecosystem, the sum of all interactions between all living things and the physical world they share.
The pioneering ecologist Rachel Carson just put it so perfectly. Her words are such a powerful reminder that no matter where you look, nothing lives in isolation. Every single organism is woven into the lives of countless others.
As this incredible picture of an interconnected world came into focus, one species began to stand out for its massive and often destructive impact: humans. Ecology was pretty much forced to turn the mirror on ourselves. This quote really highlights a critical shift in understanding. We were no longer just another species in an ecosystem. Our actions were now introducing a dangerous, unpredictable randomness into systems that had been stable for millennia. We were literally rolling the dice.
And here's the ultimate irony. The very same science that gave us the power to exploit nature on an industrial scale was now the same science sounding the alarm bells. Ecology had become a mirror, forcing humanity to take a long, hard look at the damage it was doing. And once we started looking, the list of consequences just kept growing. It really blew up with Rachel Carson's warnings about pesticides. But then came this cascade of crises: acid rain, the hole in the ozone layer, plastic-choked oceans,
And of course, the biggest threat of all, a warming planet. I mean, this side-by-side comparison tells the whole story, doesn't it? On one side, you have the intricate, balanced dance of nature, and on the other, the heavy, destructive footprint of modern industry. This is the central conflict that ecology has to address today.
But this isn't just a story of doom and gloom, not at all. Because if ecology is the science that identifies the problems, it's also the science that points us toward the solutions.
We've all heard this phrase, right? It became such a powerful rallying cry because it marked a crucial shift in thinking. It was about moving away from feeling helpless and overwhelmed by these massive global problems, and toward empowering local actions that, together, could actually drive global change.
And let's be clear, ecology is no longer some niche subject. Today, it's a massive interdisciplinary science. It draws on genetics, chemistry, sociology, you name it. It provides the essential hard science we need to tackle everything from urban planning to global climate policy.
And so, the journey of ecology brings us right here, to this moment. It started as a tool for survival. It grew into a science for understanding the world, and now it's the essential roadmap for securing our future. We have the knowledge. The only question left is, what are we going to do with it?